achieve that our
Our
object
sensing system is not useful every time to
not
define whether the
reliable,
body is cold or hot. So that we need
cold
some
or
device.
hot.
We need some parameter which can measure perfectly always. That is only our motto. That's all.
So that is only called thermometer.
Yeah, that is. Okay? Understand? Right
Yes,
now.
sir.
A reliable measure of
Yes, sir.
the hotness or coldness of an object is its temperature. Is it what? Is it what?
Is its temperature.
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 Temperature. Temperature. Now you can write. We cannot depend on our sense of touch. We cannot depend on our sense of touch. Our sense of touch. Do you understand, Marina? Our sense
Yes,
of touch
sir.
for estimating
Yes, sir.
estimating the temperature of a body. What is the meaning of temperature? Temperature means hotness or coldness. That is what it is. Understand? Estimating the temperature of a body. Temperature of a body. Temperature of a body.
Temperature of the body.
Body. So, temperature of a body. Understand? So,
Yes, sir.
to measure the temperature of an object, so to measure temperature understanding of an object by using a device called measure a temperature of an object is known as thermometer. What we should call?
Thermometer.
Thermometer. So it is a device. It's a device, simple device, which used to measure the coldness or hotness of your body. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you understand this, then let us entering into the next concept. So what is our concept we are going to study now? Temperature. What does it say?
Temperature.
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 So you can keep heading and we will start. Hari, completed Hari?
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Yeah. So you have to be perfect, not like understanding something is happening, something is going, it's not. You have to be very, very perfect in this. Now, let us enter into the next concept. So that is what we are going to study. Just now we have defined what is temperature. Now let us study in detail, understanding what is temperature. Kaushik, learn the spelling of temperature first. What is the temperature spelling? Yours particularly.
Temperature.
TMPR, temper is the movie name. Do you remember temper? Temper. Understanding? Temperature. R-A-T-U-R-E. Temperature. Kaushik, you should learn the spelling. Do you understand? Remaining, I know.
Yes,
so temperature. So let us see now. Just now we have touched like how Kaushik has shown some utensil from his home. And same way, your home also we have so many utensils. So now you can see that all of you just drop everything and you listen. Later we can go it. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Now let us see. Just now we have studied that all these things. What is coldness, hotness, coldness, hotness? This body is cold. This body is hot. This body is hottest. This body is coldest. Like that. That is all. So many things we have discussed. Correct? So now let us see now.
Yes, sir.
If we touch a utensil or else any kind of bowl, basically the cooking bowls we used to call as understand utensils. What we should call?
Utensils.
That is what the correct word. Understanding? A formal word we can call. A proper word or formal word is called as utensil. Bowl is a.
Utensil.
Understanding? That is. So, if you touch a utensil which is kept on a burning gas stove, it feels it's to be very, very hot. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Feels to be very hot. Same way.
Hot.
So we can say that the temperature of utensil is high or low. We can say that when you touch this, we can say that
High,
the temperature of a bowl or a utensil is very high.
High.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Is it yes or no?
Yes,
High.
sir.
Same way, if it comes to here, if we touch the utensil which is placed in refrigerator, it feels to be very cold, and from that we can say that the temperature of utensil is what? Which is kept in refrigerator. Very
Very cold.
low. No word called as cold, Mari. Very high and very low. Is it yes or no? So
Yes,
that
sir.
is why from this we can say which is kept on burning gas stove feels very hot, and same thing which is kept in refrigerator feels very cold. So one time if it is very hot, the temperature is very high. If it is cold, the temperature is very low. Is it yes or no? So
Yes, sir.
from this I can say a hot object has a high temperature, whereas the cold object has a what? Very
Low temperature.
low temperature. Is it yes
Low
or no?
temperature.
Is it yes or
Yes,
no?
sir.
So TEMP is
Yes,
a
sir.
shortcut. Remember, temperature is this one. So if you write TEMP dot, it is the shortcut of temperature. While I'm writing, I can use. Every time I cannot write temperature fully. If I will write TEMP dot, it is indicating what? Temperature.
Temperature.
Okay? It is a shortcut which we can use in engineering and all. Okay. So even doctors also
Yes,
can
sir.
use that. So now, if you touch this, from this I can say a hot object has a high temperature, whereas a cold object has a low temperature.
Low
So
temperature.
from this we can make understanding our definition for the temperature. So what is the meaning of temperature? The temperature of an object is the degree of hotness of the object, or else the degree of coldness of the object. What is the meaning of degree? Degree means how hot object is, or else how cold object is. We can come to know by measuring what? By measuring the temperature. Do you understand, Ra? Do you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
So now we
Yes,
have a
sir.
proper definition for temperature. So what is the meaning of temperature? Temperature is
The degree of
an object.
high or
The
cold.
temperature of an object is the degree of hotness or degree
Cold.
of hotness or
Coldness.
degree of hotness or coldness
Coldness.
is only called as temperature. What is the meaning of degree? Degree means in the sense of what? How hot it is, how much hot it is,
how
or
hot.
how much cold it is. That is only called as degree. So the temperature of an object tells us how hot or cold the object is. Is it yes or no?
Yes,
or
sir.
no? So if a high temperature of an object tells us that it is very hot, like same way you can say a low temperature of the object tells us that it is quite cold. Is it yes or no? Yes,
Yes,
or no?
sir.
Now for example, let
Yes,
us
sir.
take our favorite liquid called as water. If you consider water, do you understanding water? We know water.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Suppose you take the temperature of a boiling water. What is the boiling water? What is
100
boiling water?
degrees.
Which is boiling
100
water. What is the boiling water? So boiling.
100
If you
degrees.
take a boiling water, the temperature of a boiling water is 100 degrees
100
Celsius.
degrees
100
Celsius.
degrees Celsius. Degree
Degree
Celsius is the,
Celsius.
understand, degree Celsius is the measure, understanding, unit of temperature. Understand? Like
Yes,
we can measure in kilogram, length we can measure in meters. Understanding? Volume we can measure in cubic meter, area we can measure in square meter. The same way, temperature is measured in degree Celsius. Do you understand?
Degree Celsius.
And as well
Yes,
as
sir.
it is not the only unit. We have so many. That is what we will study in the later classes. Is it okay?
Fahrenheit, Kelvin.
Yes. Kelvin scale, Fahrenheit scale, and the unit conversion, everything I will teach you very clearly and very
Yes, sir.
properly. Is it okay, Ra? So that is. So if
Yes,
we
sir.
take example, the temperature of a boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius, understanding, which is very quite high. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, if you keep the hand in that 100 degrees Celsius, what will happen? It will burn our skin. Is it yes or no?
Burn.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
because our body can resist the temperature up to maximum 60 degrees Celsius. If after that, then slowly it will start forming the bubbles. When it is more, then it will skin will come outside. It will melt, like in the sense of it will burn the our skin, flesh, and everything. That is what I'm saying. So that is why if it is boiling water, it will take its boiling point is understanding. Boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius. It is very quite understanding high, so that I can say that boiling water feels to be very hot or very cold. Hari,
Very cold.
very cold. Hari,
No,
boiling water.
cold water, sir. Cold water.
Boiling water feels very, very hot. Same way, if you
Hot.
take the temperature of a melting ice, if you take a melting ice, what is a melting ice?
0 degrees Celsius. 0
degrees
degrees
Celsius.
Celsius.
So the
0 degrees
melting ice will
Celsius.
take, then the temperature of melting ice is 0 degrees Celsius. So at this
0
situation,
degrees
we
Celsius.
understand it. If you'll observe here, 100 and 0, it is very low temperature. Is it yes or no? Now,
Yes,
if you
sir.
touch that body, how will feel? Ice feels to be very cold to touch. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Very cold to touch. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what we used to call as temperature. The temperature will give you the a degree of coldness or degree of hotness of your body. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? So this temperature
Yes, sir.
is measured by a device or an instrument which we are already studied. What we should call that?
Thermometer. Thermometer.
All of you
Thermometer.
should remember that. So we can measure this understanding degree of hotness or degree of a coldness of any body by using an instrument or a device. Device or instrument, both are same. Remember, device or instrument called as thermometer. So if you take a
Thermometer.
thermometer, understanding. So thermometer has a scale marked on its understanding on it, which it is used to read the temperature. Means in the sense of like our normal scale. So thermometer is also a measuring scale like 0 degrees Celsius, 1 degree Celsius, understanding 2 degrees Celsius, 3 degrees Celsius. That it is having a scale. It is having a what? Scale up to 100 degrees Celsius. It will start with a 0
In
and ends with
in Celsius, it is having 100
Celsius.
degrees Celsius.
Very
In
good. Yeah. So if you
in
take this
Fahrenheit, it is
thermometer,
having 100.
every thermometer it is having a scale which is useful to mark the, which is useful to read the temperature of an object. But if you take the most common temperature scale marked on thermometers for measuring temperatures is the Celsius scale.
Celsius.
Understanding? What we should take? Celsius.
Celsius.
But if you go to
Andrew
hospital,
Celsius.
yeah, if you go to hospital, we used to get the Fahrenheit scale. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So that we will study later. Understanding 98.6 degree Fahrenheit is our body temperature, normal. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Which is equals to 32 degrees Celsius. That is what our body temperature. Understand? So let it be. It is not an
Yes,
issue.
sir.
So now, if you observe the most common temperature scale which is marked on thermometer for measuring temperatures is what? It is the
Celsius scale.
Understand? So the temperature is expressed in the unit of degrees Celsius. How we can read this one? It is degree. Understanding? Degree Celsius. Capital C. CELSIUS. Degree Celsius. Which we used to written in the short form. How we can written short form, Hari? Capital C and up
Capital C,
side
dot.
total 0. That is only called as degree Celsius, or else you can read degree C. You can read as a degree Celsius, or normally you can read degree C. What we can read? Degree C
Degree
or
C.
degree Celsius. Understand?
Degree
So in
Celsius.
the Celsius
Yes,
scale
sir.
of temperature, the temperature of melting ice is given as a value of how much now? Value of 0 degree Celsius,
0
melting
degree.
of ice,
Yes.
given as a
0
0 degree
Celsius.
Celsius, understanding,
Ready.
and the boiling point of water, or else where the steam will form, is given as a setting of value is how much?
100 degrees Celsius.
100 degree Celsius, and the length of this, if we'll take, understanding, normal temperature, normal thermometer, or else if we'll take the laboratory thermometer, basically laboratory thermometer only we can measure. If you'll go to, suppose Mari, his hospital also, you may see that clinical lab will be there. In that you can see that thermometer. So this laboratory thermometer
Yes,
we
sir.
can call, which will varies from 0 mark to 0 mark, understanding,
0 mark to 100
mark,
degrees Celsius.
understanding, 100
In
mark,
Fahrenheit scale,
understand,
in Fahrenheit scale, there will be 32 degrees, 32 degree F to 121
yeah, that is.
degree.
So that is
Yes.
what we can see. So if you'll observe here, at this 0 to 100 mark, which is dividing into 100 equal divisions. How many equal divisions? 100
100 equal
equal
divisions.
So each division is indicating what? Each division is indicating 1 degree Celsius. Is it yes
One.
or no? Each division is
Yes,
indicating
sir.
1 degree Celsius.
1 degree
So each
Celsius.
such division is called as a 1 degree. What is it called?
1 degree.
Each such division is called as a degree. So
1.
here, if you remember, when we are writing, the temperature of an object should always be stated with its unit. Without unit, temperature is not a valid one. Suppose I will ask Hari, what is your body temperature? You can say, sir, 20 degree, 20 degree. What is the 20? 20 degrees Celsius or 30 degrees Celsius. That is what? Without unit. Now not everywhere. Mari, remember, suppose I am writing 32
Yes, sir.
degree. Not only this one, any kind of physical quantity, if you are not writing the unit, then it is invalid in the physics. Do you understand? It is invalid in
sir.
the physics. So, but
Physics.
as a student, we have a bad habit that we will never use to write units. We always will forget. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So without unit, nobody should represent the temperature, understanding of any point. That is what you should remember. So now temperature, right? Temperature. Do you understand, Hari? Mari,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have confidence now? Right now. Temperature.
Yes, sir.
Temperature. Right. Temperature. A hot object has a high temperature. A hot object has a high temperature. You can write first this point. A hot object has a high temperature. A hot object has a high temperature. Whereas a cold object has a low temperature. Whereas a cold object has a low temperature. A hot object has a high temperature, whereas a cold object has a low temperature. Do you understand, Ra? Now, you can
Yes,
keep
sir.
a definition. DEFINITION, definition. Definition. You can write. What is the definition, Hari Mari? The temperature of an object. Sollungappa.
The temperature of an object
The temperature of
is
an object.
high or cold.
High or cold, what? You should not use that. Temperature of an object is the degree of. Is the degree
Is
of.
the degree of
Degree of hotness. Hotness.
hotness or coldness
Or coldness.
or coldness.
Coldness of the object.
Yes.
That is all. Okay, Ra? Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. After this, you should write. So the temperature of an object tells us. It will tells us directly. You can write next one. It will tells us. It will tells us. It will tells us how. Tells us how hot or
Hot.
cold the objects is. How hot or cold the objects is. How hot or cold the objects is. That is what. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So examples. How we can write example? Example. The temperature of boiling water is.
The
Example.
temperature of boiling water is 100
Example
degrees.
you write. Example. The temperature of boiling water is. The temperature of boiling water is.
Sir, don't erase, sir.
Oh. Okay. You can write. Can I say that point?
Sir, last 2 points, sir. It will
Okay. It will
tell us how.
It will tells us how hot or cold the object is. It will tells us how hot or cold the object is. Is it okay, Ra? It will tells us how hot or cold the object is. Example. The temperature of boiling water is. How much, Hari?
Yes.
The temperature of
Yes, sir.
boiling water is.
Is 100 degrees Celsius.
100. Understand? 100. You first time you are writing correct. You can write word form. 100. HUNDRED. 100 degrees
100 degrees.
Celsius. Because Celsius spelling you should know. CELSIUS. Celsius. Bracket you can write 100 degrees Celsius. Capital C. Capital C always.
Yes, sir.
Next. 100 degrees Celsius. Which is quite high. Which is
Quite high.
quite high. So it will say that the body is too hot or too cold. Very hot. Yes or no?
Yeah, very hot. Yes, sir.
Next, same way. The melting ice is the temperature of. The temperature of melting ice. The temperature of melting ice is
Melting ice.
0 degrees Celsius. Directly you can write. No need. One time you have written correct already. You can write directly. 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius, which is quite low. Which is
Quite low.
quite low. So which will say that what temperature is too low or too cold? Very cold. Yes or no? If you
Yes, sir.
touch it, you will feel that very cold. Understanding? That is what you should write. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Here you completed.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
completed?
The last 2 points that my pen is not writing, sir.
Okay. The temperature of
Yes.
melting ice is 0 degrees Celsius, which is quite low. Okay, Hari? Completed, Hari?
Yes, sir. Completed, sir.
Melting ice is 0 degree Celsius,
Now last point.
which is finish, sir.
Common unit of temperature is, write it. The common unit of temperature is, later we'll study types of thermometers. There I will say the scales.
Yes,
Now not required. Every time why we
Yes,
do.
sir.
Okay. We will study the
Yes,
types
sir.
of thermometers. By the time we'll study. Now you can directly write. The common unit of, the most common unit of temperature is degree Celsius. Degree Celsius, which we should represent as. That's all. Is it okay, Ra?
Yes, sir.
So this is all about the temperature. Is there any doubt? You can ask.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So now next class we will study measuring temperature. How we can measure the temperature with the help of
Celsius thermometers. Thermometers.
That is what
Thermometer.
our next concept that we'll study in the
Yes.
later classes.
Yes,
So
sir.
now you can keep
Types
it.
of thermometers.
Yeah.
Celsius,
Yeah,
Fahrenheit,
I will say
Kelvin.
you. I will say you that measuring
Yes,
temperature.
sir. Okay,
Next
sir.
concept is measuring temperature.
Measuring temperature.
Measuring temperature
Temperature.
with the help of what? That is only called as thermometer.
Thermometer.
Thermometers. Thermometers, not meter. Thermometers, different kind of thermometers.
Thermometer.
So that is what our next heading. You keep that heading and you leave it. From here, we'll continue tomorrow. Is it okay, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, sir. I write the heading.
Yeah,
Yes, sir,
measuring
okay.
temperature, thermometers. Here I will teach you laboratory thermometer, clinical thermometer,
Yes, sir.
and as well as digital thermometer. Everything I will teach you. Okay, but most common
Yes,
types
sir.
of thermometers are only two. One is what? Laboratory thermometers. And
Laboratory and degree and
that's all.
clinical. Yes,
Lab
sir.
or clinical thermometers. Only the two thermometers
Yes.
we have. But nowadays we have understanding this. What it
Digital,
is.
sir.
Yeah, digital thermometers also. So for everything we will do activity and what is the precautions we should take care, that every understanding that I will teach. Is it okay, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Ra.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.